Hello and welcome to the class of design of steel structure. So today we are going to see design of column bases. I am Mr. S. S. Sogule, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department. The column bases. Steel columns are normally supported over the concrete blocks. However, when loads are large and the bearing pressure of the concrete from the below is insufficient to resist these loads, they may fail. Therefore, it is a normal practice to distribute the column loads to steel base plates which are placed over these concrete blocks. So there are basically three types of column bases: slab base, gusseted base, and grillage foundation. So as here you can see, this is the slab base. So this steel plate has been provided over the this concrete foundation. Now the slab base. When the column is subjected to direct loads, the base can be designed by assuming a uniform bearing pressure from below. For small load, a steel plate alone can be used to transmit the loads to the concrete pedestal. Such a base plate is called as a slab base. So here you can see this is the column and this is the this base plate. So this is basically a slab base. So this is base plate and these are clit angles, and these angles has been attached to the column as well as to the base plate by these bolts, and below this base plate there is a concrete pedestal. So when the column is subjected to a bending moment along with the direct forces, the angle section are attached to the flange of the column. These angles are anchored with the foundation bolt to a concrete pedestal, as I told you earlier. Now the design procedure of this slab base. So it is assumed that the maximum bending moment occurs at the edge of the column. So here you can see this is basically a slab base, and when we are putting the load on this plate, so obviously there will be some resistance from below from the concrete, and this resistance we are distributing on this particular this rectangular plate. Here this thing has been distributed. So as you can see, this is the this pressure diagram or distribution diagram. So so if you check or look at this thing, so I will reverse this thing like this. Suppose this is the base slab and this is the column. I am inverting this figure, that is this figure. So what will happen, and load is from this direction. Suppose this is the beam and load is from this direction, that is the UDL. So if you consider this part, that is I'll consider this part. So the maximum bending will be at this edge, at this point, because this whole part is act as a cantilever, and the maximum bending moment will be somewhat like this. So this will be the maximum bending moment. So here you will get the maximum bending moment for this case. So particularly it will act somewhat like this. Now, so it is assumed that the maximum bending moment occurs at the edge of the column. So as the slab tends to bend simultaneously about the two principal axes of the slab, that is basically here you will see one way cantilever is on this side and another is on this side. So this portion is also act as a cantilever and this portion is act as a cantilever. So the stress caused by bending about the one axis influenced by the stress due to bending about the other axis. So obviously these both bendings will influence each other. So now we'll take 1 mm strip of the slab projection along x axis. We'll take this 1 mm strip along this x axis. This 1 mm strip we will consider. So this strip we are going to consider. So what will happen? Now the maximum bending moment. So W is the force from below. This is the W Newton per mm square into 1, that is the width of the strip, that is 1 mm we are taking, into A, that is this A distance, and the A by 2, that is this CG of this particular load. So if you consider this, I will again draw the diagram. This is the cantilever. Here this column is there. So this distance is nothing but this A, and UDL is of W intensity. This is of W intensity. So the bending moment here is this W into A square divided by 2 by the cantilever formula. So now here you can see we'll get the bending moment, that is W A square divided by 2. Again same we are taking in a y direction, so it will become WB square by 2. Now the sigma 81 and sigma 82 will be the maximum tensile stresses for the overhang of the lengths A and B respectively, and sigma Bs be the bending stress in the slab base. Then the moment of resistance of the overhang of length A, that will be the sigma 81 into Z, that is this stress into section modulus. So sigma 81 Z is 1 by 6 into 1, that is width of the strip, into T square, which is the thickness of this particular slab or the plate. Here we have mentioned this thickness. And the moment of resistance of overhang B is sigma 82 Z, that is sigma 82 into 1 by 6, 1 into T square. So for equilibrium, the moment should be equal to the moment of resistance of the what we got in these two equations, that is W square by 2 and WB square by 2. So again we are equating this thing, that is sigma 81 T square by 6 into equal to W A square by 2. So what we'll get, sigma 81 equals to 3WA square divided by T square. And same way here sigma 82 is 3W square WB square divided by T square. Sorry for this blur, but the tensile stresses sigma 82 in axial direction xx cause compressive stress equals to mu into A sigma 82, because you might have remember the formula for this lateral strain to the longitudinal strain. So here this mu coming into the picture. So mu is the Poisson's ratio. So that is we are assuming for still 0.25. So net tensile stress, that is sigma Bs, that is 3WS squared divided by T square minus we are deducting this 0.25 into WB square divided by T square, because in the tensile stress in one direction will cause compression in other direction, that's why it will happen. So further that formula becomes 3WT square into bracket A square minus B square by 4, and the thickness become T equals to under root 3W divided by sigma Bs into bracket A square minus B square by 4, where T is the thickness of the slab and sigma Bs is the permissible bending stress in the slab base, which is 185 MPa. So this is the formula for the calculation of this particular thickness of the slab base. Now the design of the slab base. So design of the slab plate consists of the finding out the size and the thickness of the base plate. So first assume the suitable bearing pressure on the concrete depending upon the grade of concrete used. The area of the slab base may be computed by A equals to P divided by allowable bearing pressure on the concrete. So where A is the area of base plate required in mm square and P is the direct load which is coming from the column. So basically the allowable bearing pressure on concrete of M15 grade is taken as 4 Newton per mm square. Now the square base plate is generally provided. The size of the base plate may be worked out by using this equation because it is the square plate. So L equals to B equals to under root A. Some designers feel that the projections of the base plate beyond the column edges, that is shown in this figure, that is this column edges, that is A and this is A and this is B. These are the projection beyond the column faces, can be kept equal and the sides can be worked out by using this equation. That is D plus 2B into B0 plus 2A is equals to A, where L is the length of the base plate in mm, B is the width of the base plate in mm, A is the bigger projection of the base plate beyond the column in mm. Small b is the smaller projection of the base plate beyond the column in mm. D is the depth of the column section in mm and B0 is the width of the flange of the column in mm. So we can calculate by using this area or this formula also, this length and breadth. Now the intensity of the pressure small w from the concrete pedestal is worked out by using this formula. W equals to P by A1, where W is the intensity pressure from the concrete under the slab in Newton per mm square. A1 is the area of the base plate provided in mm square. Now, the minimum thickness of the base slab base can be calculated by using this equation, that is this. Then, if we are going to provide a solid round steel column is supported over a square base plate, the thickness of the base plate can be calculated by using this formula. That is T equals to 10 into bracket 90W divided by 16 sigma Bs into B divided by B minus D0 raised to 1 or half, that is under root rather, where T is the thickness of the plate in mm, W is the total axial load, B is the length of the side of the base in mm, which should not be lesser than 1.5 into D0 plus 75 mm, and D0 is the diameter of the column in mm. One more note has been given over here. The bottom of the column and the supporting surface of the base are machined so that the load is transmitted to the plate by direct bearing. So these edges, this edge of the column and the surface of the plate should be in the plane or machined so that that bearing will be neatly done. Now a problem. So design a suitable base for column section ISHB 350 subjected to an axial load of 3000 kN. The base rests on the M15 concrete pedestal. The safe bearing pressure is 400 kN per mm square. So for this IHHB 350, depth is 350 mm and width is 250 mm. So the area of the slab base, that is 3000, that is this load P upon this bearing pressure, that is 4000, so that is 0.75 meter square. So we are providing the square base plate, so side of the base plate is under root 0.75, so we'll get 0.86 meter, that is 866 mm. We are providing 870 mm, the particular width or the size of the plate. So we are providing plate of 870 by 870 mm. Now we have the formula for the thickness. T equals to under root 3W divided by sigma Bs into bracket A square minus B square by 4, where W is the pressure from the underside of the base. So here we have this load, that is P into 10 raised to 3 divided by, we are dividing it by area provided, that is 870 by 870. So that becomes 3.96. So A will be the greater projection So we have provided a side A. From that we are deducting this B, that is width of the or breadth of the column, and divided by 2, so that we will get the this projection, greater projection. So that becomes 310 mm. Same way, the smaller projection we are going to calculate 870 minus 350, that is depth of the column, divided by 2, we'll get this 260. So sigma bs is the permissible bending stress, that is 185 Newton per mm square, as we have seen in this formula. So T becomes 3 into 3.96 divided by 185 into bracket 310 square minus 260 square divided by 4. So that becomes 71.315, and we are providing 72 mm thickness plate. So provide a slab base of 870 by 870 by 72 mm to cleat angle of nominal size, that is 60 by 8, and uh, those can be used to keep the column in position. So this is all about the slab base. Thank you.